Good evening, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you are. Good afternoon is also, of course, an option. Today we are streaming the first day of the final stages for the Asia server, and later on for EU, and later than that for NA as well. So let's go to the garage. This is the current top 4 that we have, and we are kicking it off with E7 versus Feast. So that's going to be very fun, if not for the fact that E7 really hates commentators. I mean, look what they have done. You can't commentate with those names, honestly. And yes, then you might be able to basically talk about them per tank, but they've been known to take 7 of the same tanks. And it's gonna be awful. And that being said, they're definitely making it fun, and for that, I can commend them only. I do love them with all their chaos and their trolling, but oh my god. And on the other side, we see Feast. Feast at least has not necessarily really normal names, but at least they all have different names. And that makes it easier to basically talk to you about who is who. So yeah. We'll just have to see how this goes. It is a best of 7. We're gonna have fun with it, and we'll see where we end up. We still have 4 minutes left to go, and we are starting it off on Canal. So let's grab that map and look at it a little bit. This is the map that we're going to. You have 4 bases, 2 close to the respective spawns B and C. Then you have A in the upper left corner and D in the mid area. Overall, we've seen some very epic action over the course of the whole tournament, where people are going to A and basically dominating the whole A-B-C area, and it's been absolutely wicked. So I'm curious to see what will happen here, because personally I always prefer base D, especially in randoms. But when you have a team and the team is positioned as you basically want them to, it can be absolutely deadly to hold the A area. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do with it. I'm at the moment very worried about all the Sheridans that I see popping up, because that will make commentating even more impossible, with E7 at least. But on the other side, we see that Feast is already completely readied up with an IS-4, a Leo, 3 E50Ms, a Sheridan and an E5. So that's a lot of mobility with only a little armor in the form of Maddox. And we're just going to enjoy it, really. I'm not sure what to talk about at this stage. Of course, we've seen some very epic matches so far. Last week, and the final stage for the Acer server was definitely the most exciting one, because we had a potential 5-way tie, and I'm actually really happy that that didn't happen, because the math would have broken my head, and that's not really how you want your evening to go, trying to figure out who is through. But in this case, it was a lot simpler than that, so that's good. 2.5 minutes left to go before we go into the first match of this best of 7. I hope everything is working as intended, sound is good and all of that. And yeah, we just need to wait a little bit. Basically, what always happens is that this is basically the part that is the boring part. You have to basically wait for the game to get ready, because E7 is now completely there. They've not readied up. And I'm really hoping that they're not going to stick with this lineup. Oh my god. But yeah, at least they're all there. They still have 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go before they absolutely have to be ready. But oh my god, just no, not more Sheridans, guys. Come on. Only Maddox is going to save me here if he just keeps the IS-4. And I'm not entirely certain that they will do that. The thing is, we've seen E7 do crazy things. They've taken 7 IS-4s before and won twice. They've also done the 7 Batchat tactic on Vineyards, which also worked. Oh god. And I have a feeling that we're going to see 7 Sheridans here. I mean, look at this. And then I'm just going to that Sheridan there and that Sheridan there, or all the Sheridans. This is going to basically F my commentating way up. Oh my god, honestly. Just look at this team. They even put pixels out just to make it even worse. Yeah, you guys are awful, honestly. 39 seconds left to go. Maddox is going back to the IS-4 and Middix is taking the 268. And with that, my sanity might have been saved just a tiny little bit, but we still... There we go. Maddox has an E5. But we still see 4 Sheridans here. By impronounceable name, Maddox, Moddox, and impronounceable name. They're definitely keeping us entertained, though. Let's put it that way. And here we go. Countdown clock has begun. We are going into the game. In this first game of this best of 7 for the first match in the finals. Figured is of course streaming ID versus the other match basically. They're also all taking the same avatar. This is like, oh my god, you guys are such trolls. Let's see. Yes, I agree, because they're basically doing it as an troll attempt or another attempt, depending on how you look at it, towards Maddox here. And we see that basically Feast is going a bit everywhere, bit to C, bit to towards D. And all of E7 is focusing on the B and A area. And all the Sheridans are heading towards the other side. Middix is going up the ramp. Maddox is in front to protect him. And base B has been kept. Base C has been kept. D will shortly follow. CX is now in trouble. We see the missiles flying. And CX is taking some beating here. But so are the Sheridans. And base... Oof! Impronounceable name, losing quite a bit of health there. But so does Miserable. Sleeping Lion being very forwards, which is quite dangerous. Frost is heading towards the back. Both teams have 2 bases. E7 has a very tiny advantage here. And we see that now Maddox is getting shot at. Even though not much damage is being done. Oof, that is a big hit into Sleeping Lion though. CX has to be careful there. Because missiles. And honestly, if they get away with this is just... It's just wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. But it kind of goes to show how powerful the Sheridan is at this moment. It is going to get nerfed quite a bit. Or at least the missiles are... And the engine power is going to be a lot less fast. The missiles can basically do less. But overall it is not a... Bruni there. Getting ready to fire a missile, but he doesn't have any targets. But yeah, it is going to get nerfed, so it will be less competitive next season at least. Middix waiting for a shot. He has been spotted here. So does Sleeping Lion. Ooh, there we go. And now the 268 has been spotted. And he immediately loses a lot of health. Oof. But it did cost Feast quite some HP to do that. And he's still alive and climbing back up. Maddox losing a little bit of HP. And basically Feast will have to make a move. They will have to rush one tank or another. All of E7 dug in, very spread out. The thing is that these 5 guys basically have each other's backs. CX crossing over, losing HP, has the sandbag activated. And now we have Feast making a move on this side. They're going after Maddox. But they're doing it in a way that they're not going to get spotted easily. And here we go. They need to make all the shots work. Bruni going after the 268. Oh, my camera. No, I don't. Oh. There we go. And there we go. 2 tanks out of the way already. Maddox is next in line on the next reload. He's going to be gone. There he goes. We are 925 points. CX has to stay alive. Maddox has to stay alive. And it's now at the moment a point of just staying alive. And then Feast will have it. But there goes Sleeping Lion. Missiles. There goes impronounceable name. Base B is being capped. We are 970 points. It is about the kills now. As long as everyone stays alive, Feast will have this. And at this point, we are 994 points. Feast is going to have this because they still have a base. And here we go. Feast taking it home by points. But they almost had them with all those Sheridans. Oh my god. Some completed battle passes here, as you can see as well. And like I said, yeah, the first match is for Feast. Normal lineups do sometimes work, you know. And now we have Feast getting ready for the second match on Canal with 2 Ice Force, 2 E50Ms, a Sheridan in E5 in the T22 medium. And they're going to go up against a much more normal lineup on E7 side with a Leo, 2 E5s, 2 Spaghettis, a Sheridan and an IS-7. Spaghetti is absolutely a lovely tank. I'm not sure how competitive it is at the moment compared to all the other tanks and the heavy buff that has been there. But it is a tank that I really enjoy in randoms. Less than a minute left to go before we go into the match. And then we'll see what happens. Let's see. This is always the part we have to be a little bit patient, and that's the boring part. But it is what it is. At the moment, I'm kind of done with the meme about all the names. Thing is, I think if E7 had played a bit more aggressively, then they might well have taken that match home. But Feast played it very smartly, especially with the way that they went after the E5 and the 268, because that was basically E7's weak side. So that's very well played by Feast. And here we go into the second match of this best of 7. Dun 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 dun. Don't cuss with diseases, honestly. And here we go. E7 focusing on the C and A side again. Feast going towards B. Or maybe not, they're not even capping at this stage. They're being very forwards. Maddox takes the first hit. But they've already spotted quite some people. No bases have been capped at the moment. Oof, there goes Maddox with some HP damage. Base D is now being capped. We see some more shots happening. Maddox losing a little bit more HP, but he does get another shot in. And now they're attempting to cap base B, and that is a very cheeky move. Thing is that Maddox is in a position here where he's getting HE damage, so he's still getting reset. But that is quite evil. They should wait with the shots though, because now most of them are reloading, and that could be tricky. Both teams have a base. Muge has moved over. Missing that though. And base B is now no longer being capped. And now Maddox is moving in, taking a different position, even though he has been spotted. No, he's not the one capping. You need to reset the other one. They know that he's there. They're not able to shoot him. And now E7 has actually stolen the base closest to Feast spawn. And that is interesting. Maddox in a position where he can't really get out, but he doesn't have to. Maddox in a position to back him up. And Feast is in a tough pickle right now. Because again, E7 is holding the A side, which overlooks base B. If they hadn't managed to get base B early, it would be different. Bruni going to the bush where the 268 was before. Missing that missile. Well, not was missile, missing that shot. And then he pulls back to not get shot. Sleeping Lion losing some HP there. And Feast will have to make a move. Again, it is Feast that has to make a move because E7 has the advantage. Even the oof, with Maddox pulling back, he is pretty much losing his life, but he's still alive. He just has to be very careful right now. Frost wanting to keep people spotted, but they're not able to do much. And the rest of E7 is comfortable at the back. And with them having 2 bases and Feast only having 1, the advantage for E7 is quickly ranking up. Very clever gameplay by E7, grabbing that base B like that. And right now, Feast is moving forward, but at the same time being very, very careful. Thing is that they will have to make a move, and they will have to make it soon, because now E7 is almost at 700 points. And with 2 bases, their advantage is only growing. Feast all getting together on this side of the map. CX has been spotted though, so has Maddox. They know that they are there. The rest is not yet spotted though. CX taking a little bit of damage. Mugu going up. Feast now moving in. Most of them have been spotted. Maddox losing HP. But they're pushing straight into the guns of E7. And unless they also manage to get base A, this is not going to go well. E7 pushing in. Heading towards base A. Bruni going after Maddox. And he has to make sure that this pens. And he does. That is the first tank out of the way. Impronounceable nickname is next, getting rammed to death. Base B is being stolen. Base A is being stolen. But there's some... Oof, there goes Miserable. Maddox still alive. There goes Middix. Sleeping Lion is out next. Maddox still holding base B. As long as he survives this long enough. Maddox is almost gone. But there goes Maddox and there goes Maddox as well. God, guys, these names. And now E7 still has the advantage, but they've lost the gun advantage, they've lost the HP advantage. And now Feast is going into base B. Brilliant push by Feast here. And quite messily played by E7. Because they did not prepare for this push. They knew it had to be coming. And now base D is being taken, but base D is quite open and it will be difficult for them to keep it. Especially with Bruni driving up and over towards base C, potentially. We have the 2 spaghettis there already, with Maddox behind them. But at this stage, with 2 bases, Feast has the advantage. Maddox is taking a forward position. Are they going to actually be pushing? And now the points are going up in Feast favor. And it is true. E7 is actually pushing with those 3 tanks. Maddox losing HP very fast there. And they want to take CX out, but at this stage they have to focus on Frost and they do not have the guns for that. Especially not with Maddox being taken out. This is Feast's game. Even if someone were to die now. There you go, and Feast takes it home. In a very brilliant way, I must say, because E7 had all the advantages here. And Feast just took them right on back. Brilliant game. This is... Basically, it was a close one, both in time and in guns and everything. Basically, like I said, E7 had all the advantage, and Feast just like, yeah, we're gonna get that. And it worked. So in a minute and a half we're going on to Castilla. Castilla, one of my least favorite maps, potentially my least favorite map to completely. This is what it looks like. You have 3 bases, base B in the buildings in the middle, base A on the mat side, base C on the heavy side. There's lots of lines of fire in all those bases. It is very tricky to get them. And depending on where you want to go, one side is definitely stronger than the other side, as spawn-wise I mean. There's lots of camping positions all around, and that makes this a very tricky map, and it also makes it one of the maps where we get the most still-made games, because people will not want to make a move when they know where the campers are. So this is where we're going to go next, and we have Feast ready in 2 IS-4s, an STB, a Sheridan, an Object 268, an E5 and a T22 medium. And on the other side we see 2 T62As, 2 T22 mediums, 2 E5s and a Sheridan. So relative mobile lineups on both sides. The only ones less mobile are the IS-4s. E5s are technically heavy as well, but they have that magic speed boost. So let's see. 20 seconds left to go before we go into the third match. There's no real pressure yet. It is the best of 7, and even if one team loses this match, they will go to the lower bracket, so they're not knocked out just yet. Countdown clock has begun, and here we go. Honestly, E7, why you do this? Just look at all those names. But yeah, let's look at it this way, Maddox. They all just want to be like you. And here we go. Let's go up and away and see what happens. And we see Feast splitting up a little bit. They never leave both sides. Oh, actually they do. I was going to say they never leave both sides completely unattended, but here we go. But E7 is abandoning the C side as well, with Middax going to the middle, Maddox going towards the other side of the bridge, probably towards the Citadel. Impronounceable nickname is already there though, spawning the lot. And he already loses some HP there. CX now in a... Oof. T22 is losing HP, but so does CX. He does not want... Oof. And losing more as he crosses over. Why did he not just turn back? Mugu in a tricky position. Impronounceable nickname pulling back a little bit. But CX has lost quite a lot of health there. And that will make him have to play a lot more careful. The T68 is moving away. And now we have Mugu venturing into base A. Potentially getting that advantage. Bruni there to back him up. Bruni losing a little bit of HP there. But now Feast has a base, and that will give them a nice advantage. HP wise it is very close, less than 100 points between them. We now see that base C is being taken, and Sleeping Lion is going to have a look. He does just that and he resets it. And we see Middax changing position, going behind the rock, and then still getting hit. But no, from the other side, and now he's giving up completely. Impronounceable nickname has made it all the way to the back, with potential to shoot the people on the Citadel. So they have to be careful. They know that the 268 Miserable is at the back there, and they're careful. But with every second that passes, Feast is getting ahead more with the base that they have. And that has everything to do with the fact that E7 did not cap any. Thing is, with only one base having been capped, it is relatively easy for E7 to get control back if they grab that base A, but there's a lot of Feast guns protecting that. Feast is also protecting base B and C with Sleeping Lion there. He can't really do much, but he's in excellent position to decap both bases, or at least spot people so that his team can decap bases as well. And that is all the more important. And this is basically exactly what I mean with why I do not like this map, because now we've entered the stalemate game. Nothing is happening, neither side is making a move. Any poking is immediately punished. And whereas E7 wants to make a move, they're not really in a position to do that. They are pushing, but they're pushing into the stronger side of Feast. We have Impronounceable Nickname going after the T22. And he is losing quite a bit of HP there, Sleeping Lion. But overall, this is not a very coordinated push. Mugu going to help Sleeping Lion. Let's have a look here. Sleeping Lion not the healthiest. But neither is Impronounceable Nickname. Middox almost gone. And that did not pan. The Sheridan is running away. Sleeping Lion still alive but barely. And now they're hoping to catch the Sheridan here. And they do! And he survives. And Feast now has a gun advantage. Base A has been stolen though. Frost is in a horrible position facing a lot of guns. Miserable is losing quite a bit of HP. Feast might be in a very tough pickle here. Some low HP targets on their side. HP wise it is very close. Actually the advantage is slightly in E7's favor. And Maddox is in a tricky position. Bruni still alive if barely. Frost taking out Maddox here. Despite the fact that he's been getting shot at both sides. Moloch's losing a lot of HP. Frost has been taken out. Feast still having a very comfortable point lead. And they have a gun lead. But the gun lead is very, very small. And they will have to be very careful. Moloch still staying in base A. Losing HP for it though. My camera is being a bit derpy here. Miserable reloading. And basically they just need to grab a base. They have all the time in the world. Maddox losing a little bit more HP, the healthiest targets on E7's side. Miserable repositioning a little bit. Wanting to get the shot safely. Base C now being capped, and as long as Feast gets that, they should have this game as long as they survive. But look at the HP. 29 for Modox, 94 for Bruni, and 59 for Sleeping Lion. They have to be very careful here. And we have Maddox moving around the back. Not sure if it's just to survive or to see if he can get some kills. But let's have a look if he sees anyone. Bruni is safely hidden though. And Sleeping Lion is in a somewhat more troll tank. He's not spotting anyone there. But they will have to steal base C if E7 wants to win this. And it was a very brilliant move the way that E7 took base A. But I think it's actually Frost here that won Feast the game, even though he died after. The way that he was occupying multiple tanks and survived as long as he did. That was quite pretty much epic. Monarch's turning around, running off. Everything has been driven down there, so he's not really revealing his position as he drives through stuff. CX getting shot at. Maddox still spotted CX as well. And we see Maddox here very, very sneakily making his way through the town. But the time is up. And Feast will have it because they had the more points. But this was so close. Look at the damage done by both sides. Very patient gameplay by Feast. They did not take any chances after they lost that many they lost that many HP, to be fair. And like I said, this is why I feel that Castilla is a very bad map, because it's not necessarily predictable, but it's so stalemate. Yeah, but Fizzy just said that the impronounceable name, it could say it as Maddox, but there is a Maddox. That is the whole problem. So yeah, In just over a minute, we're going to go into the fourth match, and now the pressure is on E7. They have to win 4 in a row in order to go to the upper bracket. If they lose the next game or any of the games after, they will go to the lower bracket. They're not knocked out yet, so nothing is lost just yet. And we have Feast ready for with 3 IS4s, 2 Sheridans, a 268 and an E5. And on the other side, we've seen STB, 2 113s, 3 113s even, an E5, a Sheridan and a Foch. It will be interesting to see what they do with that one. Half a minute left to go before we go into the match. And then we'll see. The games are definitely entertaining, to be fair, but also because of the names. Because every time I'm just like, which one is that? I've never had to pay this much attention to names, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing though. As Kiwi says, this town is too small for 8 Maddoxes. Oh my god. And here we go. Countdown clock has begun. We are going into the 4th game of this matchup. And let's see if E7 can pull it back towards them. Let's see. Honestly, I do love my princesses, because before, when I actually first got to know them, they were all sporting Disney princess names, and I actually really like that. So they will always be my princesses regardless of what they change the names to. So now we have both teams heading towards base A again, but now Mugu is heading off towards base C. And with no one from E7 there, he might have a safe cap. He is waiting to see if he spots anyone. And impronounceable nickname is going... Well, there's actually 2 impronounceable nicknames, to be fair. But impronounceable nickname is going into the middle with the Foch. Base A is not being contested. We have Bruni that is there. And basically E7 is going for not so much an early brawl, but for a cheeky cap. Bruni immediately loses some HP here. And E7 is capping with no less than 4 tanks now. Base C is being taken. And so far he's able to get away with that. But E7 has the point advantage here. They just need to be a little bit careful with how they play. Big hit into Middix there. Let's see. Bruni driving backwards. May need to get away fast if he has to. Not wanting to get spotted. He is being very careful. CX taking the position he was in. Base C has been taken. Mugu is all the way at the back. Potentially to spot Maddox, an impronounceable nickname. They are expecting someone there though. And he has just fired. And now we have Maddox heading towards him. They know that someone is there. And now Mugu is quickly reloading. He has reloaded. Oof, Maddox taking a big hit in the bum there. And not even by Mugu. Mugu getting away. Driving off. Pretty much wasting his adrenaline. But not taking any chances. That is a safer way to go. And now E7 is quite spread out. Maddox is on his own on the Citadel. And basically E7 just wants to avoid base B being kept here. Let's see. Not much happening. They could potentially try and camp base A. But Feast is building up the game very patiently. The real Maddox at the back here. And we have Maddox and impronounceable nickname at the back. Potentially facing off against 2 Sheridans. Just going to fly across to see what happens. Because not much is happening here. Maddox in a position where he can get shot very brutally if he gets spotted. Unless he pulls back very quickly. But basically, again, this is a stalemate game. Not much happening. Miserable at the back there. Ready to shoot. Tanks from E7 having been spotted. But not Maddox. And that is kind of the tank that they want. Big hit into Middix there. Maddox now moving into grab base A. Even if he does not manage to get it, the fact that he's there long enough to avoid Maddox being taken out instantly. Maddox getting shot, but at this stage E7 already, Feast already taken back the advantage. Base A still being kept, but Maddox is losing a lot of HP for it. He kind of has to get out. The STB has been taken out. The action on this side is pretty much over. The Sheridans are free to go after Middix. Maddox is the preferred target. Middix losing some HP here. And there he goes. The Sheridans taking them out one by one. There goes Maddox. He has been taken out. But there goes impronounceable nickname as well. And now it is 5 versus 3. This is definitely going to be Feast game. Especially with them capping base B. That troll move on base C, on base A, it wasn't even about capping base A. It was just about getting that advantage, getting that reaction. Maddox losing more and more HP here. And even though Frost might not survive, Bruni getting it. Oof, Maddox just got massacred. Miserable making a move. And we're already at 1k points. Feast has taken it home. And Feast is going through to the upper bracket. So that was some very interesting games, to be fair. And even though there were only 4 games, there were long games. Because look at this, we've been streaming, well, streaming for longer, but basically half an hour of games. That is including 6 minutes of waiting time. But those were long games. Oof. Very well played by both teams. Have to give massive credits to Feast here, because they were playing patiently, pushing expertly. I loved it. So let's see what is going on the other side. We have to go through quite some clickings to get there. And they are still going versus RM. That was the 4th clan that I couldn't think of before. Toby's having a hard time even typing all the names. But yeah. Let's see. If we go back and we go to Feast. Their next game should be on Saturday. No, it is... Now, of course, we get the upper bracket finals today. Then we have the lower bracket as a whole on Saturday. And then we have the grand finals on Sunday. So their next game is in 40 minutes. Oof, God. So that means I'm going to be entertaining you with a lot of replays. And in between we will look back to see what is going on. Let's see, what have I got for you? I have a lot of replays, to be honest. And let's see. Let's actually go by one of the pixel guys, because actually I need to show this to you. No, that's not the one. This is the one that I want. You have all the mouses, you also have all the pixels. And there's still a lovely little princess left in the form of Mana. But yeah, there's a bunch of pixels as well. So let's go and show you a replay. If it actually loads. Because that would generally help. There we go. My laptop needs some... Basically, needs to be handled with gloves. And here we go. 57 pixels in the T49. In the meantime, it is very warm here. And I'm actually quite melting because I had to close all my windows to stream. Which is quite brutal. Because I'm under a flat roof and all of that. But basically I live near a busy road, so you would hear a lot of traffic noise if I didn't have them closed. So I'll just be melting here. And after the stream I will stuff my face with ice cream. Let's see. Ooh, Juicy Drac. He does get spotted though. And he can't shoot that because he wasn't pre-aimed. Chamira might just push over. There you go. Pixels is turning around, not entirely certain where he wants to go, but he's facing the AMX. Which in this case is a good call, because he could potentially one-shot him, I was gonna say, but he doesn't. And now she's using the bridge to avoid getting shot. There we go. We have a Scarface in the middle here. But we also have a Borsig where we know where it's at. And that is where our... Oh! That is one big hit exchange for another. And now, oof, he has very little HP left. He has to be very careful. He can't even run people at this stage. That is a massive hit on the yeah, this is the it's not the real, it's Scarface. There you go, that's the word I was looking for. And he has to be very careful. Oof, that was tricky, but he got it. Borsig has been taken out. But with 15 HP left, this is not really a very comfortable way to drive. And he's going back towards his team, which is a good call. Anything as much as a bump can kill him off now. And this is a very... Oof, he does get it. Even when he was barely aimed, that was a very important hit to get. And now he just has to be very careful. As long as they're not looking at him, he should be okay. 4k damage so far. The guy cutting at the T54 now happy with RT49. There you go, that's another one down. He is trying to keep his teammate alive, which is exactly what he needs at this stage. Because of the very low HP that he has himself. And now he's going around, which is a good call. Focus on the weak sides of the enemy. Not a big hit. Let's see. And now he's going for the other juicy part. And there you go. 5.1k damage. Very cheeky game, but he survived. Four kills, 1437 base XP. Very lovely. So that was one game. We still have quite a few games left to go before we get into the second match. Let's see, what else have I got for you? I have so many great replays, to be honest. Just need to think of which I have shown and which I haven't. I'm actually going to show you this just because I can. It's a tank I actually really hate. I have not managed to ace it myself, but I'm not into the derp. I actually drive with the other gun. Which one, Ollie? It wasn't an ace though. My kind of rule for showing replays on stream here is that it has to be an ace. And I don't want to start Discord up because I'm afraid for the health of my laptop. Let's see. It does look fancy though with this camo. Thing is, if you change the, I think it's either the gun or the turret, I'm not quite sure, then the icon on the side of the tank on the turret changes. Then it's no longer a fist, and it's like sort of like a lightning thing. He's pre-aimed, but no one is going in there. And then we have a Juicy Sue. Then we had a Juicy Sue. I do like that I can do that massive hits, but I'm not a fan of derp. It and I just don't really get along. The thing is, with the derp gun, the KV2 can one-shot so many tanks though. So he has to be a little bit careful as well, because any shot that he does not take, that he doesn't make really. Oof, a little bit of fire, always helpful. Let's see. But yeah, I still need to ace this tank, and I actually drive it with the non-derp gun, because that suits me a lot better. Ooh, nice one. Sherman going after the VK. He's not really bothering with the low HP targets though, so I don't think Squishy minds it. Now he's going all the way towards the back, probably to see if he can shoot that KV-1S or the KV-2 there, but they're now not in a position where he can actually shoot them. Oh, that was derp. Well, technically it wasn't, but yeah, that did no damage, let me put it that way. Now there's only two tanks left on his team, including him. And now he's in a Kolobanov situation, so he has to be very careful. That's one. Technically he can one-shot all of them, but that KV2 can one-shot him as well, so that is very tricky. Leo getting some bounces in. And Squishy kind of knows at this point that he has to get that Leo, because if he outruns him, that's a whole other problem. And the Leo actually getting stuck is very helpful at this stage. Aww, that is so cute though. I like it. But yeah, he has to be careful not to get one-shotted by the KV2, because the KV2 can do that. Oh my god, they're both derping their shots. And now they're both on their upper long reloads. They're playing chase around the building. Oh! Yeah, that helps. Oh, what the hell? That was an unexpected ammo rack. Yes, Simon. Today I will be streaming Asia, EU and NA. I will be streaming all three servers for the rest of the days, to be fair. So on Saturday and Sunday as well. In fact, on Sunday I get to stream on Wargaming's official channel, because they want the EU finals to be streamed there. But yes, I will be the one doing the commentary there as well. Massive game for Squishy here. Very nicely played. That ammo rack though. So let's see. Do we know yet who is through? So now I believe we get RN versus Feast. And then we'll see Fugit there as well. And then Saturday we start off with ID versus I7, and then the winner of that versus the loser of RN versus Feast. And then again on Sunday the grand finals. So let's just check to make sure. Yes, in about 25 minutes that starts. So in 20 minutes we will have a room. And let's see. This should be listed as Saturday then. Yeah, there we go. That's the match that we start with. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Let's see. Oh god, Ollie, are you seriously making me do that? I'm starting Discord for you now. If my laptop crashes, I blame you. The length of the stream depends on the games. It also depends on the coin stream or not. If you have the coin stream as streamer, you will stream for longer to make sure that everyone gets the maximum amount of prizes. Which for these two, which for the days now, are I believe set to 2 hours. Grand finals is different. But yeah. I can look it up for you later. Let's see. Discord is slowly starting. You will have to be patient with me. You will have to be patient with my stream as well, because I'm not sure my laptop will like this. Basically, my laptop, my CPU does not like me streaming. So anything that I open will take some time. So Ollie wanting me to show his game definitely now, and I'm obliging him. Means that you have to bear with me for a few more minutes before I can actually show you the replay. Because like I said, Discord is loading, but it's taking some time. At least you have some music and you see that the guys in the garage, well, it's not a garage right now, is it? On the campsite are dancing to it or whatever. Let's see. It is very slowly loading. Actually, like the new garage, the only thing that I really dislike is the fact that there's a dog barking, but there's no dog anywhere. It is something that really annoys me. They had this last summer too, and I was just like looking at the garage, looking around it to see if I could spot a dog, and there's no dog. But you do hear it bark. And I really wish they would just put a dog there. Discord is still opening. It's not dying on me yet. And there we go. Got a lot of notifications, by the way. I'm not going to check any messages until after the stream, so you'll just have to wait for that. Same with the notifications in game. I can kind of bet that is E7's clan chat. Because I am actually in E7 on the Acer server. I don't play on this server because, well, my ping here is awful. The funny fact is that it's now currently listing that I have 225 battles. But if we actually go to the stats, if it actually loads that, there you go. You can see that 217 of those battles are tournament battles. And that is all for me streaming Asia server. So I actually find that really funny. Okay, I've got a Discord loaded. Now I need to go to the right server to grab. Oh my god. Like I said, you have to be very, very patient with me trying to get this replay. This is why I usually have Discord closed nowadays when I stream. There we go. I think I've got it. Let's see. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to show it. I just need to close Discord first. And I need to close that through the task manager because otherwise it just stays on in the background. So bear with me. Just a little bit longer. For some reason, it always starts like 5 or 7 processes or something. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Come on, Discord, close. Last one. Okay, Discord is closed. We can now focus on showing Ollie's replay. Okay, here we go. Sighton, also one of the Legion pros. Let's see. T22, pay to win tank. And an E5 that does no longer have the cupola. It is not supremacy, so no bases to cap. It is all about killing everyone. We have seen a very, very epic match before on this map. With Ollie. And Firstborn, I think it was. A very epic toon game. And this is actually a nice spot to be in. If you can't really shoot anyone, you can troll cap and you can make people come to you. And now if the Leo just moves forward. Oh, so close. E3 now coming his way. But this is like, he's not capping for the cap, he's basically capping for the troll. Because it forces your enemies to go somewhere. Mouse now getting shot a lot. He just has to be careful of that E3. And he is doing just that, and the mouse is not paying attention to him at all. Which in this case makes it easy to take him out. Now the E3 is moving in. Because this is the thing, they're in a position where they can basically support each other, and that is just lovely. And the E3 is not taking the time he needs to make these shots. Cheeky shot that. Oof, that did not pan though. But just the way that they're dealing with this tank, with both the mouse and this is just lovely teamwork. I like that. There's a 5-minute delay on the stream, by the way. That is so that people cannot see each other's lineups. And no, I'm not going to play Battle Live. If my game is already having issues with, well, if my laptop is still again derp. If my if my laptop is already having issues with my streaming, can you just about imagine what will happen if I try to play now? That being said, I can't play PC to save my life, honestly. That was a very bad derp. And that's the tank that they want to get at, but they do not get the option. The thing is though, with where they're at now, this is actually beautiful. Because he is troll capping, so they have to make a move for him. And Sidon is just at the back there, making sure that they can do this. Oof, that is the end of the E1. Grill moving in, we have a Death Star at the back there. He needs to stop derping his shots though. And this is just the kind of teamwork that I absolutely love. Big hit, nice fire. Well, not necessarily big hit, but a nice fire. Oof. And he is still capping. Sidon has to be careful though, he is now reduced to one shot. The thing is that even he is being rushed, but there you go, he was just waiting for that to happen. And he's now at 75. He's not really, I think he might cap just to make sure that he wins. But he's not in it for the cap, he's in it for the troll. Because I can see him actually going out of it now. And he takes that hit. He's activated his adrenaline. The grill is not going to survive. They're definitely going to win this. He basically took a hit for the team. Sidon, still alive. And he can actually take a shot from that. There you go. That is a very badly shot by the 183. But this was lovely teamwork. Yeah, it does deserve showing. Even if it's not an ace. Very lovely game, Ollie. That troll camping, this is basically what the game is all about. I love when that kind of stuff happens. I would actually would really love it if you could potentially get me Satan's replay from this as well, Ollie. Because these are the kind of games it deserves showing, and if you can show both sides, that's even better. I wouldn't not show both on stream, I mean, but more like just to show both sides in a video somewhere. We still have 50 minutes left to go before we get the next match, so I can show you at least another replay. Let's see what I have for you. I'm going to show you this. If it actually loads. Like I said, patience is a virtue here. Come on, game. Load it already. That's what she said. She said, oh my god, don't feature bot carrier. And here we go. Another EU Pro Spacey in the AMX 50B. Let's see. And I have a feeling he's not going to be AFK this battle. He's not moving though. Why though? Spacey, come on. There you go. Did he actually just wait to reload his whole clip before he moves? Why though? And he's just using the E100 as cover, even though he's still getting shot for it. But he's just dishing it out back. He takes another one. Waffle has been taken out, so the Jaeger is somewhere behind there as well. So they have to be careful. That is helpful. And a nice little fire. Nope, he can't get him. He wants to get him though. There you go. But now he has to wait for another reload. Two of his teammates are already gone. That does not bode well. KPF is moving in. But he's almost got his clip back. There's the Jaeger and the Jagdtiger. E100 dying, but that's actually nice. Whatchamacallit, cover. There you go. Nice high roll. And there you go. And now, oof. Basically, going out of sniper mode here cost him that kill. To be fair, games like what Ollie had is all about the right kind of potatoes. There's the Jaeger. Nice reloading his clip. We know that the Jaeger is here. And we know that the E1 is over. There you go. Now we have all of them. Let's see. They have to be careful though, because if the enemy gets all the bases, they're in big trouble. The Jaeger just fired though, that is a good thing. And they kind of have to move in. He's already 4k damage into it. Nice fire as well. He wants to get that shot. Oof, he does take a big hit for that though. And he kind of wants to go after the E1, looks like. Thing is, he can't one-clip him. Oh no, he can actually. There you go, well done. That was potentially the most dangerous tank here. Jaeger is angling for both of them. And there you go, IS-7 moving in to get killed. But he survives. And now there's only the AMX who misses, which is very helpful. And though he takes a hit, he takes it home. 3 kills, 7.4k damage, very nicely done. $1,738 basic XP. I still don't get the waiting until you reloaded your kit before you actually move, but still. That's what she said, is trolling. But then the name kind of implies it though, doesn't it? So let's see. I'm not going to be able to show you another replay because we're not sure that we have the time. So I'm just going to show you other stuff. This is what is in the store right now. This bundle, the SU-100Y, is one of the few tanks you can still get from the weekly crates, I believe. But it is good value for the bundle. The tank itself isn't that special though. It's not called the box tank for nothing. And then you have the T-34, same thing. Good bundle. Pretty nice tank though. Gun depression is amazing on it. And then we have the Chimera. This is actually a tank that I want mainly for the looks. It's not that great. It's good, but the thing is that it's not worth 12,500k gold. It is a nice tank though. Now we have the 252U. That is one of the most troll tanks, both in the armor being very troll and the gun being very troll. And for me, the main weakness of this tank is the gun. When I've driven it, I've missed so many shots with this tank. It's insane. It's like RNG is definitely not with you. Then you have the lighter version of that bundle. You have these tanks, of course. All 5 of them. Cromwell B is absolutely lovely. It's one of my favorite tanks. Same with the Victory. It looks like a piece of candy with the right camo. Then you have the Rudy, which is just lovely. IS-2, that is so not my thing. Don't like it. And the ECU-122S is not really special. But the top 3 tanks of this bundle are just great tanks. So if you have the gold for that, it's good value. It's like 3k gold per tank, in effect. And you get them all equipped with the legendary camouflages. Well, not all of them actually. Look at this. Only for the Cromwell B and the IS-2. But no, actually no, you do get them because this and these two have their camouflages equipped. I don't think you can get them without. So you do get the legendary camouflages. So then it is a really good deal. So I quite like it. And then you have the this version, but it lacks the Victory. And of course you can get the Cromwell B loose. Then you have the camouflages, the avatars, some boosters, credits and gold and all of that. Well, credits actually. And then here we have the battle passes. I've obviously not done any of that on this server. You have 7 days of premium accounts. Again, good value if you don't have premium time. The T15 and the Panzer IIJ, they're not really that much fun. T15 maybe, the Panzer IIJ is not nearly as competitive as it used to be. The pen is completely awful on the Panzer IIJ. It used to be like the anti-Kenny, because Kenny was the only tank that pretty much the Panzer IIJ was the only tank that Kenny couldn't really hit. But yeah. Then you have gold and gold poopsters. And you have Sue containers. Sue, it is a lovely tank. It is. It really is. But crates, come on. I mean, there's a 5% drop chance. That means that there's for every tank that you open, you have 1 chance of getting it and 19 chances of not getting it. And that is what I have against crates. It is gambling. And then, if you don't get it, you basically just get poopsters. And maybe free XP and gold and charm. So if you spend like over around 120 euros, you will actually get a tank. But still, it is gambling. And I'm not a fan of that. And then you have all these bundles. More suit containers. But yeah, not that big a fan of that. Let's see. Room invite should be up in about a minute, so then we will be more entertained than before. And as I said, that it will be the last matchup for tonight. And then on Saturday we have the lower brackets, and on Sunday we have the grand finals. For the Asia server, I will have the coin stream both on Saturday and on Sunday. But that's actually really fine by me, mainly because of the fact that the temperature will be back to normal then, so then I won't be melting when I'm streaming. That is mainly today. So let's see. And on NA, I think... Let's have a quick look. I think I have the coin stream today and Saturday. There you go. Let's just ready up. Fugit should be arriving soon as well. Just need to find the right channel. I'm currently just quickly looking at the streamer schedule to see who has coin streams when, because this is the kind of stuff I don't remember by head. I make an announcement beforehand and I look at the battles for that day then. Let's see. There's too much chat here. Here we go. So I have the coin stream on Saturday and Sunday for Asia, tonight and on Saturday for NA, and of course the grand finals on the EU server on Wargaming's official channel. The only stream, there will only be one stream for the RU server, 2 for the EU. That is because RIP is streaming in German. So RN has already completely readied up with 2 IS-4s. 2 E5s, 2 T22 mediums and 1 Sheridan. And Feast is... There we go, that is Fugit. Definitely subscribe to me if you haven't already. Feast is ready up with 2 IS-4s, a Leo, a Sheridan, a Mouse, a T22 medium and potentially an E100. And we are going to Winter Marinovka, so let me grab that map for you. This is what it looks like. You have 3 bases, 1 down below, 2 in the city area. Overall, I much like the positioning around base A, but for the team games you generally see more actions around base B and C, at least when it comes to base dominance. Because it's all about dominating 2 bases. You don't necessarily need to cap 2 bases, but you need to dominate 2 bases to make sure that the other team does not get a head start, or lead, I should say. So that is where we're going to go. And... just making sure that I basically just check, double check all the freaking time to make sure that there's no map on the screen. 2.5 minutes left to go. And then we will go into the match. And we just need to wait and see. Relatively heavy lineup on V side, relatively mobile lineup on RN side. Let's see. 2 minutes left to go. Everyone is ready except for the game itself. For this last best of 7. Best of... No, sorry. We are going to go to best of 9 now. So the first team to reach 5 victories is actually the team that is going to go through to the final straight off. And the team that loses this matchup is going to go to the lower bracket. And that will be fought out on Saturday. And of course, it will be very interesting to see what they do at this stage. It is Asia server, they are a little bit behind in the meta overall. But Feast has so far been at the top of every season. And that is for good reason. They've been working really hard on their focus fire, on their tactics and all of that. So let's see. Just under a minute left to go. RN completely in the room. Quite like that as well. With 10 players. I wonder if this stage, if you are not there, if you get a downvote thing for not appearing for a tournament. Would be kind of ridiculous though, to be fair. Half a minute left to go before we go into the match. The first match of this best of 9. Just checking again that I didn't leave a map on. And we'll see. Seconds left to go. And here we go. Countdown clock has begun. And we are going into the first game of this matchup soon. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. We have Caesar, a lantern, and a lot of pros on our inside. And a bit mixture, including some no avatars on Feast side. Aw, that's nice. I like that. And here we go. Let's see. And we have Feast going a bit towards the middle, shooting Chota Chime as he gets there. And focusing primarily on the B and C area. Whereas Ren is a bit more spread out. Taking blind shots in places that there are no tanks. Frost being very forwards here. Getting shot for it. Ooh, they want to take out Chota Time really badly here. And they're pretty much succeeding. Frost now capping base B. Maddox pushing in. Bruni taking quite a big hit there. Base A is being capped. Miserable gets tracked. Chota Time is being very careful not to expose. Maddox is pushing, but he is pretty much alone here. Feast is being very aggressive, but no, it's not actually Feast. It is part of Feast that is being very aggressive. Miserable is there to support, but he actually misses that shot. And Mugu is losing quite a bit of HP. We have the Mets meeting at the other side. Let's actually have a quick look there. Bruni almost gone. Oh, no, sorry, my camera. And there goes Bruni. And now we have the T-22s versus the Object 140 and another T-22. Sleeping Lion missing that shot, but Mugu does not. Mugu is very low on HP though. And is getting shot at from the other side. No idea how Mugu is still alive at this stage, but he's getting some more shots in. That's not going to last long though. Maddox has been taken out. Mugu again bouncing. No idea how he's managing to do this. And Sleeping Lion is actually keeping his teammate alive. And Mugu just needs to hide and stay alive. And there we go. And on the other side, it is not looking too good either. CX is almost taken out. He bounces another one. Miserable. Chota finally being taken out, even though he was the preferred target. Frost shooting Iron Bread. CX has been taken out. Trigger has been taken out. And now it's only these two versus 4 guns. But 2 of those guns are relatively low on HP. Brad bouncing though. And getting bounced on. Sleeping Lion arriving. Taking out Iron Bread. Alpha taking out Miserable. And now there's 3 guns versus 1 gun. And though Alpha might potentially take Mugu, at this stage he's definitely not going to win this. And they are slowly but surely taking away his HP. And there we go. And it is Sleeping Lion that takes him out, and the first match is for Feast. Relatively quick game, very aggressively played. I was fairly certain actually that Maddox would not survive that, but that might have been the turning point, and it might as well led to Feast's demise, if not for the fact that the T-22 kept bouncing on Mugi like that. Still don't know how Mugi survived. He really shouldn't have. So that is the first match up and over. And we now see that RN has rallied up with 3 IS-4s, 2 113s and 2 T-22 mediums. And they're going to go up against 2 IS-4s, 2 Sheridans, an E5 and 2 mice. So that is an interesting lineup as well. Lots of heavy tanks. And those mice can make the difference in HP, but at the same time they are a bit of a weakness because it's hard to get them anywhere. But as long as the team sticks together, more together than last game that is. And then it should be okay, but we'll have to see. The RNG was not with RN last game. "30 seconds left to go before we go into the next match of this best of 9. Team that gets to 5 victories first is the one that takes it home. And there's no real pressure yet on any team because of that. It's only when one team gets to 4 victories that you have to kind of wonder about whether or not the other team is going to make it. But at this stage anything can still happen. And here we go. Sheridans have been left behind now. On RN side, that is. And let's see. RN moving towards base B and C. And then Mets following suit. Feast on the other side. Being quite forwards with Mugu, who's going into a bush here. Wanting to spot someone. But the ones that he wants to spot are not in a position to get spotted. Same for Bruni, but they're not wasting any shots by firing blind shots. Miserable, slowly but surely moving towards the middle. CX moving towards base C a bit more. And now we have RN pulling together more to the back. And we see a well, not a blind shot, a shot happening at Frost, but he's not spotted. Well, he's not hitting, I mean. Same with Sleeping Lion. And basically none of the bases are being taken. Damage being done is very minimal. And basically RN is just biding their time. Waiting in the spawn. Not wanting to get flanked by the 2 Sheridans. Not knowing exactly where Feast is at. Sleeping Lion going back. CX and Miserable still holding. Mugi moving around the back. And we see RN pushing on this side, but as soon as they get spotted, they're halting. They know that there's someone will be there. We see a missile and it pans. Bruni gets spotted in the result and immediately pulls back. CX moving in, base A is being capped. Trigger is there, getting another missile hit. And now Mugi is moving in as well, but it's sort of a diversion. They're sort of like sacrificing Trigger here to get the push, because now there's 3 tanks down below and only a few tanks up top. So Trigger here is the sacrificial lamb. And let's see what's going on. I want to show you the kill. No, he's not dead yet. And he gets another hit in. But I'm actually going to go here quickly, because now we have the mice that are alone with the IS-4s. And RN is moving in, making quick work of CX here. Even though CX still gets some bounces. And the T-22 gets hit. But he's not going to survive for much longer. There he goes. Now Sleeping Lion is caught alone. We have Frost moving in with the E5. The Sharons are arriving in the middle. And now Feast has regrouped. Both teams have lost a tank. Sleeping Lion is getting hammered. But there goes to Love Starlin. Maddox is still alive. Sleeping Lion is not going to survive much longer, but at this stage we have the Sharons arriving. Feast has pulled back and they are outgunned. It is 4 versus 5. And in this stage, when they're focus firing like this, Bruni... Oof, that is a big hit into Chota. Chota has been taken out. Now only 2 guns left. And even though Alpha just taken out Frost, he is now being focused on getting some big hits into him. And Miserable is going to chase off after Montake, I have no idea. And Alpha, there you go. Maddox taking him out, and now only Montake is over. He's left behind. And Bruni going up on position to potentially do a nice roof shot. But that actually bounces and Maddox takes him out instead. And that's kind of like, this is Feast's strength. Pulling back like that. And I think that RN grossly underestimated the speed with which Feast could get back up. Because there's 2 Sharons, but there's also an E5 with the magic speed boost. Just over 4 minutes for this game. One and a half minute left to go. We are going on to Alpenstadt now. Alpenstadt looks like this. You have 3 bases. Base B in the middle of the city. Base C in sort of like the outcrop of buildings. And base A considered the map base. Overall, we generally see some super heavy action around base B. Not necessarily to cap, but more to hold. And then the teams go either which side. There's lots of lines of fire into every side of the map. And that makes this a tricky map, less predictable. But overall more fun to watch. So let's see, not just making sure that there's no map on the stream. And RN has read up with 2 mice, 2 AMX-50Bs, 2 IS-4s and a Sharon. So that is with the Clippers, that is tricky though, because you have to make sure that every shot counts in order to make a Clipper effective here. And on the other side we see an E100, 2 Sharons, 2 IS-4s and 2 mice. So somewhat more heavy lineup there. But less long reloads overall, mainly because they're not Clippers. And we've seen how deadly those 2 Sharons can be together. So let's see. 19 seconds left to go before we go into the 3rd match of this best of 9. Again, no real pressure just yet. Let's see. And here we go. But for me, these last few matches basically show the level that Feast is at. Which is like a whole other level for the Acer server. And I like that they're having a good day. They don't always. So this is nice to see. Feast heading towards the middle and towards base C. And basically RN doing the exact same thing. Babi going for a very early B cap. Which is very, very dangerous. He immediately loses a ton of health there. And now Bruni is capping base C. Maddox is losing some HP. They might actually get base B. They actually do get base B with those 3 tanks. And, oof. Babi is almost gone. And base C is being capped still. And now CX is immediately moving in. Bruni losing more HP. And basically RN is playing very aggressively here. But I'm not sure, they're not committing to it. Oof, there goes Babi. CX taking him out. Mugu arriving. Base B has been capped. CX is moving in. Miserable in a holding position. But he is now getting rushed by both the AMXs and Alpha. But no, the AMXs are focusing on the other side. Meadows has been taken out. Both teams have lost the gun. Mugu arriving at the back. Basically, this is a giant F-Fest. And it will be all about the focus fire. Sleeping Lion has been taken out. They have to be careful with that. Bruni is not going to survive getting shot here. Especially not when he gets tracked. And he misses! How did he miss that shot? Bruni is still alive when he really should not be. Frost getting bullied by a mouse. Miserable now in a tricky position. Bruni has been taken out. Mugu going in, even though he's losing quite a bit of HP, but he does take out the AMX. And now it is 3 versus 3. But the mice on Feast side are at a disadvantage in position. Mugu getting that shot in is going to be very important. He needs to get the shot in. He does. But there goes Miserable. And it is now 3 versus 2. And he is being sent off to cap base A. And that is a very good move. Stalin moving to get base C. But at this stage, if they get base A, he can run circles around them. CX still alive, if barely. If this pans. Oof. CX taken out. Base A being taken. Alpha heading towards base B. And he does get it, but it will be tricky. He has to stay alive, and he has to stay alive very well. Alpha now taking base B. With 3 tanks, they could potentially dominate the whole of the map with all the bases. But Mugu is not sitting still. That mouse is a one-shot. He could potentially do it. To Love Stalin is moving. He is heading towards base A. Mugu going around the back towards base C. It is very tricky what he's doing. He has been spotted. Not getting shot at this stage is very important. But so is getting that base. He has to make the move. He has to go into the base. He has to cap it. He has to try. He is in the position to get out of there very fast. Oh my god. My heart is beating in my throat. Not sure about you guys. Oof, he does take a hit there. And now he has no chance. He needs to find the mouse. He needs to find Siam. And take him out. Otherwise, he's lost this game. And the IS-4 moving in the middle. Siam hiding. Mugu needing to get that base. Needing to get any base. But this is what I mean. They are holding the whole of the map with 3 tanks. They have 3 bases. Mugu needs a base. That did not pan, and that was not the tank he wanted to kill. 940 points. RN is taking home this game with brilliant gameplay. Mugu surviving, but RN dominating. And he's actually trying to HE himself to death here, but it failed. What a game! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Very well played by RN. Sending only the healthiest tanks after Bruni. Very nicely done. And getting that base dominance was so important here. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the second match on Alpenstadt. Feast has completely readied up with an E100, 2 mice, 2 IS-4s and 2 Sheridans if Mugu readies up again. And they're going to go up against 1 mouse, 3 IS-4, a 215B and 2 T22 mediums. No, the grand finals are on Sunday, Brian, and you know that. Oh my god, but that game though, I hope you're going to enjoy that, because it should be starting around now for you. Less than a minute left to go before we go into the match. And I am Brett. No, there he goes. Already's up again. I find it funny that pretty much every first map RN is taking a Sheridan, and then the second match they're not. But this game was so close though, I love that. 18 seconds left to go before we go into the fourth match of the best of 9. And let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. Let's see. Lots of clan camouflages. The clan wars camouflages, I should say. And now we have Bruni heading towards base A. On his own. Potentially to meet 2 T-22 mediums. RN moving through the middle. Bruni needs to not be there very quickly. They know that they're spotted. First shots fired. Bruni taking a little bit of damage there. Base A and C being taken. Miserable moving in with the mouse towards base B. Facing off against the mouse and an ice fall. And Feast will have a tiny point advantage here. But they will have to be careful. Alpha taking some damage. So does Maddox. But he does land a nice big one here. That is not a big one. That is HE damage on the mouse. Why would you do that? RN moving around the bottom. And now we have Sleepy Lion facing off to Love Stalin. And the rest of RN. Sneakily going to arrive behind Miserable here. And now Miserable, oof, taking big hits here. And we have the Sheridans that are about to deal with the T-22 mediums. If not for the fact that that shot missed. Big hits into Choto. To Love Stalin. Miserable has already been taken out. Bruni running around. To Love Stalin almost gone. But there goes Bruni as well. CX not in the best of positions versus so many guns. And Feast is down a gun. And that missile did not pen. Feast a bit too spread out. RN focused more together. They want to take out Alpha. And we have a missile arriving to do just that. Along. It does not pan. Feast pushing in to take out Alpha. But focusing on a mouse can be very dangerous indeed. Especially when you're showing your flank and you're losing that much HP for it. And they're not shooting the same target. The focus fire is not there this match for Feast. Alpha has been taken out, but CX is also gone. Maddox is not looking too healthy. Trigger is almost gone, but he is using Maddox as cover. And that's... oof. There goes Maddox. It is 4 versus 3. This is RN's map, really. Feast is playing a bit too chaotic, too spread out. RN is pulling back together. Focusing together. Oof. Sheridan has been taken out, but against so many tanks. Sia is going to take him out. There he goes. And now we only have Mugu left. Oof. Nice snapshots. And RN takes home this match as well, and it is 2-2. Again, very nicely played by Oren. And we are moving on to Desert Sands. Let me grab that real quick for you. This is what it looks like. Yeah, 3 bases, 1 in the desert, 2 in the city. Lots of lines of fires in all of them, except base C. It's a bit more protected, but basically it's very easy to get yourself stuck there. Overall, the positioning in base A, around base A, is a lot better, but it is difficult to dominate 2 bases from there. So that is the map that we're going to go to. 1.5 minutes left to go. Feast has completely readied up with 2 IS-4s, 3 E50Ms, a Sheridan and T-22 medium. That is a pretty mobile lineup, because if you look at the other side, Oren is taking 4 mice and 3 IS-4s. I think we can safely say that Oren will be focusing on the city side. So anything can still happen match-wise. Team that reaches 5 victories first is the one that is taking home. That is going to the grand final straight away. The other team is going to the lower bracket, which we will see on Saturday. And let's see, 40 seconds left to go. Ironbread not ready, but probably just changing the loadout of the IS-4, and there we go. And in this case, I wonder if Feast is going to change their tactics last second to basically go elsewhere, because when you take this many mice and you only take heavy tanks, pretty much even worse, one of them, not sure which, is going to start in the desert. But yeah, I think that Feast is going to rush through the desert for this one, and we'll see what happens then. And here we go into the 5th batch of the best of 9. Let's see. These are kind of lineups that you almost expect to be troll, if not for the fact that they're serious. And you see with the different loadout, Trigger is actually using the HP boost. But so is CX and Maddox actually as well. So Feast is focusing entirely on the desert side. Aside from CX and Maddox, here we're going to go through the middle and getting hit for it. If not nearly as badly as you would think. Pushing up and over on the other side. That was a grand missile hit, actually. CX keeps getting tracked, in trouble. But we see that the Mets are going straight on after the IS-4s. And they will need to take them out very fast if they want to save CX. CX is basically being left. They can't really do much about him. There goes CX, but there goes Ironbread as well. And Feast is pushing up and over, going across the rails, jumping on top of each other, going after Babby. And the mice are pushing through the middle. They need to be careful though, because they're wasting a lot of shots bouncing on the IS-4s. Maddox getting tracked here. Sleeping Lion as well. The mice are pushing up and over, now forming a sort of pincer movement. And now Feast is in a tough position. They lost CX already. Miserable is not looking too healthy. And with all the shots that they've actually been bouncing, it is very dangerous. They're now going after Trigger. Now Miserable is being left behind. He can't do much of anything here. Maddox pulling back behind the buildings, but he's going to have a mouse behind him soon. He does take out Trigger though. But there he goes. Both teams have lost 3 guns. No bases are being capped. And now Sleeping Lion is next in line. Feast not shooting the same target. Not focusing on the same target here is very deadly and potentially is going to lose them the game. Because Sleeping Lion is not going to survive this. Bruni needs to not be there. He needs to survive. Sleeping Lion gets blown apart. Frost getting rammed by a mouse is never healthy. He does get another hit in, but there he goes, and it's 2 versus 4. And now we are reaching the position that Feast is actually moving about. Mugu still alive. That not penning. And they're still not going for the bases. The mice take forever to get anywhere. They could win this on bases if they actually went for them. Base B is now being capped. No, that bounced too. Choto taking a hit. Bruni going up over. Base B has been capped. This is giving RN even more of an advantage. And Feast has still not capped any base. And they know that Bruni is out there somewhere. My camera is derping again. I would like... There you go. I would like to be able to move it, thank you. Alpha. Getting shot at Bruni. Bouncing more shots. And again, RN has an advantage both in bases, in points, in kills and everything. Oof, Bruni taking a hit there that he really should not have. And we see a missile fly all the way over there. But not penning. And this is basically, if they had gone for the bases earlier, when they saw that the mice were going to dominate things, they could have had the advantage. Plain and simple. RN's focus fire today is better than Feast. Alpha taking a bit of damage there. They're more interested in going after Bruni. Bruni's taking another hit now from Shoulder Time. Chota could be sacrificed here. But they need to get the bases. And Chota is digging himself in. Waiting. Now he has to make sure this shot lands, and it does. And then he has to be careful not to get shot. Base A now also being capped by a mouse. Mugu being taken out from the other side, well, from base A. Bruni not in any position to get anywhere. Except run. They've not focused on the bases at all. And that is costing them this game. The mice are holding very well. And Bruni can't really get anywhere, can't really do anything. All he can do is run around. And he can't do anything here. He is in the corner. He is pretty much hiding to survive. But RN has this game. And it will be 3-2 to RN. RN getting back on their feet, having won 3 matches in a row now. Mainly because their focus fire has been more focused. And there we go, Bruni sacrificing himself. And the mice really work for RN. Have to give it to them. Feast. Bouncing so many shots on those IS-4s. And let's see, we are going to the second match on Desert Sands. In the 6th match of this best of 9. And let's see. Feast is ready up with 3 IS-4s, and STB is Sheridan in E5 in the T22 medium. And they're going to go up against 3 IS-4s, 3 E5s, and 1 Sheridan. So that is a very different lineup for RN. Let's see, just over a minute left before we go into the game. And then we'll see what happens. But Feast is slowly losing their touch today. They started off really strong. Both against E7 before and then RN now. But now RN is really getting back on their feet. "40 seconds left to go before we go into the match. And then we'll see what happens in the 6th game. if Feast is going to pull it back together or not. Again, whoever loses this match goes to the lower bracket, so it's not all is lost yet. Ten seconds left. And here we go. Just, Feast is a whole other level, but don't forget that RN ended up here not for nothing. They're still top 4. So anything can happen at this stage. And Feast will have to pull themselves together if they want to take it home now. Let's see. Feast focusing on the desert side again, but now RN is doing the same thing. Bruni going towards the middle to spot. And he does just that, and we see the first shots going in with a missile hitting the sand. IS-4 is in the middle. Mugu getting shot. So does Bruni. The IS-4 is pushing through the middle, pretty much what Feast wanted to do last match. Base A not being capped. We see another missile flying, another missile hitting the sand. And we have IS-4s versus IS-4s here in the middle. But Meadows took a big hit there. Losing quite a bit of HP. And now the IS-4s are going in. Mugu losing more HP. Meadows caught out in a quite horrible position with tanks in front and behind him. Feast moving in. Maddox basically sacrificing himself here. With very aggressive gameplay that was not needed. And we have Montake on low HP here. But pretty much for every tank that they want to shoot, Feast is losing more and more HP. Bruni going after Montake, taking him out. Alpha not looking too healthy. Bruni taking a hit there. And we have Bruni going to assist Frost. Whereas we have CX bouncing on shoulder time. Mugu has been taken out. And now CX is caught alone with most of his team's tanks still in the city. Mugu missing that shot. He is using the sandbag, so he's surviving a little bit longer. But not long enough. And now it is 5 versus 3. And again, this is a game for RN. And in this case, Maddox just played too aggressively. This wasn't RN being better than Feast. This was Feast not throwing it, but just making new moves, really. And that is something, they're getting impatient and they're not playing it nearly careful enough. We see some Sheridan on Sheridan action here. Bruni taking some hits more from the IS-4s and the E5s at the back. Barbie still alive. And now Barbie is pre-aimed. And he takes out Bruni. Because this again, there is no careful gameplay here. And now we have Miserable showing his side. He does take out Choto. But it's 2 versus 4. And that is a missile that did not pen. There goes Frost, and now only Miserable is left. And this really was Feast messing up. Last 2 games, RN pulled it to them. Their focus fire was better. They dominated that brilliantly. This game is really Feast messing up. And now he's almost gone. And Miserable is put out of his misery. Why? I am Bread Tank. The names though. And now the pressure is on. Now Feast will have to win the next 3 matches in a row in order to go straight through the grand finals. And RN only has to win 1 more game in order to go straight through the grand finals. And we are moving on to Vineyards. Different map, so I'm going to show it to you. This is what it looks like. You have 3 bases. Base C is actually more to the back of the city. You have base A and B close to their respective spawns. Can be camped pretty securely. But overall, this is a map that is rarely won on points and much more won on brawls. So 1 minute 12 seconds left to go before we go into the match. Feast is ready up with 3 Ice Force, an STB, a Sheridan, an E5 and a T22 medium. And on the other side we see 2 113s, 2 Ice Force, an E5, a Sheridan and T22 medium. Depending on if I am Brad. No, he's going for a 113, so that's 3 113s. Lots of 113s actually. And they have the DPM, they can make this map work. They're also relatively juicy and that is their weakness. Brian just said, best of 7 followed by best of 9 is mentally draining. Yeah, you can say that again. Not just for me, but also for the players, because it's a different mindset that you need to take then. 18 seconds left to go before we go into this 7th match of the best of 7. Potentially the last match of the evening if RN wins. And let's see. Here we go. Maddox needs to play more patiently. This has always been one of his weaknesses, to be fair. But in this case, it is costing too much. And let's see what is going to happen here. With the T22 going towards base A. Most of RN focusing a bit on base C and A actually. Feast sticking together. First missiles being fired but not penning. All of Feast surrounding base B. And we see at the back 2 113s heading towards the ruins. Miserable taking some hits there. So does Maddox. I am Brett Tank. Losing HP as they get there. And we have the Sheridan going after the other Sheridan. And this is unnecessary. Bruni taking that big a hit. And now, just waiting for Babi to reload. Maddox facing off against 2 113s there. And now especially with his gun pointing the other way, he's showing both sides weakness. And Maddox is going to be taken out very quickly here. There he goes, actually shot by Alpha there. And they're also focusing on the bases. RN doing both things at the same time. Mugu taking a hit. Base A has been kept now. This is the first time that Feast is actually focusing on the points as well. Granted, they have lost a few games because of that. Because they didn't. And RN is dominating this. They are. There goes Saya. RN now crossing over. Going after Miserable. Taking him out almost straight away. CX next in line. And Babi at the back there making a very vital hit. There goes CX. We see Sheridan versus Sheridan action on the other side. And even though Babi might not survive this, he is running off. He might make it. And he is waiting to reload. Brody wants to intercept, but now he's reloaded. And Babi does not miss. And again, Feast is being hammered here. It is 4 versus 2. It is 4 versus 1. Mugu, the only one left. And overall, it's just been very impatient gameplay. Shots being fired, going out of cover, shots being fired on the run, missing, going out of cover without wondering whether or not you will get killed, basically taking unnecessary risks. And RN is taking this home. They are through straight to the grand finals, and Feast will have to go to the lower bracket. And that's all there is to it. So that is it. We have RN going through to the grand finals. Then we have, on Saturday, we see ID versus E7, and the winner of that will have to go against Feast to reach the grand finals as well. So we'll see what's going on there. This was not Feast Day. It started off brilliantly and then they lost it. Literally and figuratively. That is it for me today. I will be back in about 5 hours to stream the EU server for you guys. And I'm starting with none other than Raid vs Legion, so that's going to be definitely fun to watch. So thank you all for watching, hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, I will be back in about 5 hours. Have a good day, have a good night wherever you are, and I will see you then. Bye bye!